My mom has started acting weird towards me since I started dating my boyfriend. I recently, about 5 months now, started dating my boyfriend, and my relationship with my parents, but mostly my mother, has changed drastically. I haven't really ever dated someone, and especially not as seriously as I am dating my current boyfriend, and throughout high school and my first 2 years of college, I didn't really go out much and mostly hung out with my parents at home. There is a lot to my relationship dynamic with her that I think explains a good portion of this, but I will try to keep it short. She has a very bad relationship with her father. He is a narcissist and both verbally and physically abused her when she was a kid. She's never gone to therapy, so I think she has some severe unresolved trauma from that. And 4 years ago my older brother died in a car accident, which was also very traumatizing and affected our family drastically. These are just to give some context. I would say that I definitely have mommy issues. I started dating my boyfriend in May, and as I am a college student and I have summers off, we spent a lot of time together and did lots of stuff. I will say that we got close fairly quickly, but I think we just clicked and that was that. We both are the type to date to marry and take relationships very seriously. The whole time we've been dating, my mother has been throwing, what I will call, tantrums. Things will be totally fine, we will be on good terms, hanging out with each other, and having good conversations. Then I will hang out with my boyfriend and all of a sudden he's trying to steal me away from her, or I'm a terrible daughter who doesn't love her mother, or I don't love her anymore and I'm going to throw her away and never come to see her again. And this isn't a once or twice thing. We've had multiple conversations where I explain to her that's not the case, that I still love her and I still enjoy spending time with her. I am back at college now, so no longer at home, and she just sent me a text about how I didn't need to come down. I live 45 minutes away, anymore, and I have no obligation to see her. I genuinely don't know what to do. I hate bringing this up with my boyfriend because I know it makes him feel like he's the problem, which he is not. He has told me multiple times he doesn't want my parents to feel like he is stealing me away from them and wants to make sure I still spend plenty of time with them. I feel so stretched thin between trying to be a good girlfriend and a good daughter, and I hate that I feel that way. Because I shouldn't. And please don't say that I should just cut her off, because I do love my mother very much, and this is me trying to salvage our relationship, not break it off. Comment. Come up with a neutral boring soundbite about it that you can repeat word for word when she has her little tantrums. Something like, "Mom, it's not about you, it's age appropriate for me to have a boyfriend at my age." Deliver the exact same boring line every time she has her tantrum. No reassurance that you love her, no efforts to appease her, just a bit of, "Sorry you feel that way." Couple this with reaching out to her regularly on whatever your preferred schedule is. If that's a weekly phone call or visit, continue doing that, and be consistent about initiating it. The big strategy is that you will need to train her that throwing a pity party about her feelings is not a way to get love from you, but that you will engage positively and reliably with her as you have before. Initiating your conversations means you're more likely to catch her at a time when she hasn't wound herself up into feeling grievance about it. If she starts hounding you, deflect, "I'm busy with XYZ now and don't have time to talk, but I'll catch up with you next Sunday." And hold the line firmly, don't stick around for her to have long tantrums at you. You might be interested in looking up something called empty nest syndrome, especially with your mother's history. Now that you're here in adulthood, it's time to take off the rose-colored glasses children view their parents with. These are two adults who got pregnant. They are not special, they have human weaknesses and flaws. Your mom sounds like she's been pretty codependent with you and she's struggling to adapt to her new reality, and she keeps acting out as a result of her tremendously high anxiety. It's not an easy time for mothers. She's very likely not doing any of this because she wants to make you miserable, but because she is miserable and struggling and acting out. So give her some time. Don't burn any bridges down, but maintain your boundaries. You are an adult now, same as her, you get your rights to privacy and autonomy, same as her. You shouldn't back down on those. Enjoy your boyfriend. I for one am very glad you found somebody you like and I hope it goes well. Keep telling your mother that you are an adult now and you want to grow, and you hope she'll support you as you move along. I think and hope she will eventually mentally cope with her new status in life and reconcile with not being primarily your mom. She's gotta come back to her own identity, and I've seen some mothers really struggle with that. Being a mom is a big deal. One of the hardest things in life is dealing with the fact that our parents are just average mortals, same as everybody else. It's not easy to go through in any way, it leads to their mortality, and beyond that, your own. But you gotta. Your mom is an adult human woman with a couple of decades on you, not a wise, supernatural being. She is flawed, she is mortal, she is your mom. Love her very hard, but don't put her on a pedestal and expect her to be better because she gave birth to you. It doesn't work that way. Your mom's gone through a lot of trauma, so I can see why she's reacting that way. I can also see your point of view too. Her actions certainly don't feel very nice. I think ultimately what needs to happen is for you to have a conversation with your mom and let her know that you still want to spend time with her and maybe schedule a few outings together, like a spa day or brunch. Ultimately, she's scared and doesn't have the skills to manage it. I think more meaningful quality time and getting her involved in more social groups will help her and your relationship. Does your mom socialize with other people? Maybe you can get her to take a class or join some kind of group. It's hard though, I know, but she is feeling a void and hating the change. She should be mature enough not to make you feel guilty about it though. Maybe you can organize something with her where you are around other people, and maybe later she will go by herself, like an art class or something. Next story 2. How do I give my partner a therapy ultimatum? We have been together for 9 years and about 7 of those years have been hard. He had terrible examples of relationships and he suffers from depression. He was bitter towards me when I made more money than him, and now he's bitter towards me that I make less money. Affection has declined steadily over the past 4 years, and even though I've tried in various ways to understand why and make him feel comfortable, we haven't made a ton of progress. He feels like it's a lot of progress, but we're starting at such a low bar, that it's just hard to keep going. About 2 years ago I really put my foot down and said it's time for change or I'm out. He had an absolute meltdown over me leaving, and it set his progress back a lot at first. He's made a lot of progress in the past 2 years, but it feels too little too late. I'm not perfect, but I've been dedicated and supportive and faithful, and I'm just tired. I've been begging him to go to therapy for 2 years, never directly saying that it's an ultimatum, but making it clear that our relationship isn't going to survive without it. The 2 sessions that he's had made a huge impact, and we've been seeing a couples counselor every 3-6 months, which saved us last year and has also been really helpful. I was under the impression that he started going to therapy consistently in July, and I just gave him space and privacy by not checking in. Yesterday he tells me that he cancelled it after his 2nd session because we can't afford it. Which quite honestly is the truth, $90 a week, but if he had told me I would have advocated for him to continue looking. He knows I'm not seeing my therapist, so we have room for him to see one. This feels like a massive breach of my trust. We have absolutely been doing better, but this made me feel like I want to leave. He claims he thought he told me, but we both know that I would have been talking to him about it if he had, and it feels like he is lying to himself. He immediately re-signed up for the BetterHelp service and apologized, but I'm still feeling so defeated. I'm planning on giving him an ultimatum tonight. Our biggest problem is communication, and so now I want him to talk to me about his sessions within a week of having them. Just to tell me whatever he feels comfortable with telling me. I feel like I have to treat him like a child, and that honestly in itself is enough for me to leave, but I want to give him this last chance. The straw that broke the camel's back was like 2 years ago, but I'm holding on because I know that the man he is capable of being is worth it. I feel controlling for what I'm asking for, and I hate feeling like his mother, having to check his homework. I'm scared that presenting it as an ultimatum is going to put him in a place where all he focuses on is me threatening to leave. I'd love thoughts and advice on how to have this conversation with him, or maybe better ways to get him to consistently go to therapy. TLDR, I've been with my husband for 9 years and 7 of them have been hard. I set a pretty strong standard 2 years ago that he needs to be in therapy. I was under the impression that he has been going every week since July, to find out yesterday that he cancelled after 2 sessions and never told me. I'm giving him an ultimatum tonight with parameters that honestly feel controlling. I don't know how to present this conversation in a way that will actually help our relationship. Looking for advice. Edit. I was asked how he has changed and the progress he has made, and I thought it might be good to drop this here. He used to just sit in his own anger during conversations. But he actually listens to me now. We have really deep conversations about how we feel about things, and he is trying to be better about leaning into friendships. He has learned to remove himself from conversations where he is getting angry, and he is trying to be more interested in things I enjoy. I'm just tired. He has cried several times saying he is trying. There is just so much ground to cover, and he is stressed and defeated when he thinks about it. The past 5 months have actually been wonderful. There were moments, but progress felt steady. He had a medical procedure yesterday. One of the things is that he's struggling with his health right now, and on the way home I asked him about therapy, which is when I found out he isn't going. It just felt like a punch in the gut and a slap in the face. Comment. It honestly sounds like it's too late. You having to drag him to therapy means the benefit will be lower, and demanding to talk about his therapy sessions afterward frankly isn't okay. If it's to the point where you need to control this much, the relationship is already over. You're clinging to a dream of who he could be instead of accepting him for who he is, which isn't healthy for either of you. I don't think your relationship is really going to improve if you have to parent him like this. He is only going to get better if he wants to get better. Never hold on to a failing relationship because of the person you think they could become. If he hasn't already started becoming, after all these years and all your begging and threats to leave, he's not changing. And he's willing to fake, lie, and pretend, in order to manipulate you into staying. Give yourself your life back, you deserve it, and you deserve better. The straw that broke the camel's back was 2 years ago. And you're still there? And you want to give a guy, who has had 7 years to change, another chance to change? You are kidding yourself. You've built up some imaginary version of him in your head and you keep waiting for your fairy godmother to change him into that imaginary version so you can be happy. It will never happen. If you don't like who he is now, break up. This is him, take it or leave it.